As you can see, my fans, the lovers of the program Oshukwa out there, that introducing my guest today will just be an understatement because he's a person well known. He's been in the movie industry for a very long period of time. Sir, I appreciate you so much for coming on the program. Um, I want to ask, aside from Mobad case, we also had been this kind going up and down that you are also one of the frontliners in the cause for case of Baba Ijesha. If I may ask, sir, are you not convinced that Baba Ijesha actually did what they accuse him of doing?
Yeah, the point is, the first thing that we need to understand as people is that the debt we owe every child is protection. Children are meant to be protected, and abuse towards children is non-negotiable. Nobody should do it. We all must stand up, and I must give kudos to Lagos State government. The moment they had that a child has been abused, they swung into action. It is the right thing for any adult to do. But in Baba Jesus' case, we don't have to go too far because when they are trying to show us how the event unfolded, a normal person will look at it and say, "For whatever it is, this looks like a non-natural crime. This is a setup." You understand? They are trying to pass a different message. And the right way to do is that in this kind of situation, it is wrong for people to weaponize abuse of children, rape, and all these sort of vices to destroy other people's life. But we live in a society that where social media will always be the court, will be the constitution, and will be the jury. We cannot go with that. So it was a serious melee. It will take a careful person who understands the nitty-gritty of fundamental human rights to stand tall and say, you know what, whether this person did it or not, it deserves fair hearing. Rushing to say, don't grant him bail, condemn him before they hear his own side, is because something is fishy. And demanding for that, all these ladies, particularly Yabo, thought you're trying to cover up something because they have limited knowledge. They want to become a voice. They want to become an activist, but they thought doing it is to destroy one or to turn down one so that they can. That's not the way things are done. In human rights community, there is always competition. We always need each other, but these people are not thoroughbred, so they can't understand the angle at which I am talking. So they went to social media, sell a different narrative. And if you ask me, when I look at the beginning of a case, before I can draw conclusion whether Baba Ijesha did it or not, I looked at it and said, what are we talking about? If you, princess, come out to say, when the girl was 7 years old, she was sexually abused. There was penetration. Who did you report to? How can a 7-year-old be penetrated? A 7-year-old living under your roof, not living with Baba Ijesha. Not that Baba Ijesha came to live in your house. He came briefly. He penetrated your 7-year-old. There will be multiple tears. The girl will be in pain. And then let's assume it now truly happened. Where did you report to? What medication did you give the girl there? It will now make us to understand that truly it did happen. All those ones were absent. Because I have to investigate. Because I realized they were trying to make it like a gender, they don't want the whole situation to come. And they've already set a trap for him. So if nobody is trying to speak up on his behalf, they will finish up the man. Because he already fell into a particular trap. So anything they had to eat will fly. So I was beginning to suspect that maybe the 7-year-old was just a concussion to demonize it. So allow the police to do their job. And she said, why would you say the police to do their job? We said he did it. Then they don't want you accept. I said, are you even crazy? You always want to think Nigeria is a jungle and everything you dump on social media, everything you dump on us, we should accept. Anything we use our prison, our police cells to do, if you allow rogue police officers, if you allow criminal elements, governors, senators, to say because you give them public power, and they should use it to punish innocent citizens like you. The more those people suffer in those prisons, the more we outside will continue to suffer. The more our children will suffer. That is why nothing is working for our parents. Do you know how many of people that claim they are fighting for children go and see their parents in hospitals? They dump them in front of the hospital because what value do you think you have? Do you know how many times you have used your mouth and your fingers to send innocent people to prison? So you're not coming here to scream, my son here is here, the day I attend to my son in the hospital. Who cares about you? Do you care about other people? Do you care about the rights of other people? So now when you look at what Princess did, I need to be honest with you guys. If anybody keeps quiet on this, you are deceiving yourself. You are placing a curse on your children. These people don't care about that girl. It is a criminal offense. It is punishable with life imprisonment for any parent or adult to groom a child or a minor for sexual activity. What do I mean? You cannot ask a child or a minor, you know what? I want you to suffer PTSD. Don't worry, suffer it. I want to gather evidence. That's insane. It's because people are not educated and informed. You can't ask a child because the law believes that a minor and a child cannot decide for themselves. If truly the girl was a victim, she's in trauma, and she complained to you that for 7 years I am going through this. I don't want to see it. If I see it in TV, I shake. How can you ask the same girl to submit a body? In the first place, you are not supposed to invite any sexual predator, known or unknown to the girl, towards where the child is. Oh, liwa ipeni. O mo pe ni ma se omo ekere ni jamba. Boyo ti wa se ri tele, o tu wa fe gbe wa si akata bi tomo yen wa. The reason why the girl will accept to be there is because she can't make decisions for herself. So forcing the girl, brainwashing the girl to even sit down and wait is because the girl relies on you for food, shelter, accommodation, or care. And that is gross abuse of the right of the girl. You can't do that to any innocent child. Because the debt you owe is to any man no matter the situation, no police, no judge, no governor, no president should ask a child to wait to be abused again. And that is the cost majority have placed on many children in this country by accepting that nonsense Princess did. I'm not done.
Thank you, sir.
That is number one. Grooming a minor for sexual activity. The authority and the justice system are failing to tell Princess to herself that we don't care what you think you're doing. This is absurd. You are not interested in this girl. Secondly, the camera that was used, particularly the CCTV, it was not installed many days before that time. It wasn't a normal CCTV. Princess installed it that day she invited Baba Ijesha. It's a premeditated recording. So now ask yourself, my brother, if Princess had been a mother before, she will understand that no child should be made to go through that. You now went to put a camera. You knew you have invited Baba Ijesha. And for her to have invited Baba Ijesha means she wants that girl to be around Baba Ijesha. So it is clear and it's crystal clear that she wouldn't have invited Baba Ijesha, put camera and ask the girl to go and stay with her sister. The girl being around is because she wants the girl to be in the video. And now, you now left Baba Ijesha and the same girl. With what intention? And then you have a camera. Under the law, it is called child pornography. No sane person will record how a child is being sexually abused. No excuse for it. It's madness. It's a cause. Because how can you want to record what how they will deep add into a vagina? Because if the picture you're painting about the man, that is a sexual predator. How can you? They have a remote control to tell him, Baba Ijesha, I invited you to come and touch my daughter, but I just want to know if you've touched it. But don't tear her brow, don't strangle her, don't put your penis. So just touch her. Let me know that you've touched her before. You can't dictate how a predator would do, and that abuse will come again on that child. Let's assume the man is who he is. She claims he is. And then you want to record, and you'll be watching how your daughter is sexually abused. No police investigation goes that way. Not anywhere in the world. Anywhere you see a child or the details of a child being used, an adult is behind the keypad. They might say, "Who are you talking? How old are you?" I'm 14. A picture will be there. But an adult to be the one behind the keypad. So when they set to meet themselves, then the guy would realize that, oh, it was an adult he has been speaking to. That's how they catch the pedophiles. The only time you will see an original minor is maybe because the minor had been discussing with the adults secretly before the parents get to know. So the parents will continue on behalf of the child. But for you to sit a child down and say, I want you to play this role, you're already putting the nonsense in the end of a child or a minor. And that is what the Lord does not accept. That alone, child pornography is punishable by another life imprisonment. That is 2 life imprisonments for prisoners. That is a separate case I'm even discussing. Now, the key one on the old stuff in Baba Ijesha's case is that when police now investigated, after Baba Ijesha was already trapped, tortured, forced to accept he did something 7 years ago and he was trying to dodge it, then the police took over at Sabo police station. Then they went to Panti. The detective said, you know what? You are hearing someone, let us investigate. Few days after, they said, Princess, bring this girl. She's a minor, we cannot handle her behind you. You must be there, anything you want to say to her or do. Then they took the girl for a test. Lo and behold, sperm was found on the girl. The doctor's report said, healing broken hymen. That means the girl was recently disvirgined. So there was no 7 years sex on Baba Ijesha. It was a total charade. And the worst part is that after they arrested Baba Ijesha, the girl returned back to her normal life of having sex with one Damola Adekola, who is like a brother to Princess and a neighbor. They did not even use condom again. That is the same girl you all are believing that she's a victim. Under the same roof, the Princess she's fighting. Now, the third part is that when they said presence of semen, then the girl confessed. We have a semen on you. This is sperm on you. It can't be sperm from 7 years. And this one that they trapped Baba Ijesha this week, he didn't have sex with you. So where did you get sperm? Said his brother Damola. Who? Well, he's a neighbor, like a brother to mommy. The police swung into action. Who have been having sex with you again? Said, but Okele. Who is Okele? Said, security of our house. Ah. Is your mommy aware? She said, yes. It turns out that 2020, the girl had been sexually abused by these 2 people. And Princess was aware. So she don't want the police to punish those. She doesn't want the law to catch up with those ones. Then in 2021 April, she now lured Baba Ijesha. Come, I want to shoot his kids. Just the way I've been invited here to this studio. Come. And then they set him up with flirting. Because the girl is a young adult. They now set him up with flirting, asked the girl to play a role. And Baba Ijesha fell for it. And then when they recorded whatever they want to record, then they changed the age of the girl. And they were saying it to the government, she is 14. Send Baba Ijesha to life imprisonment. Because there is a premonition that you have offended me. You broke I will destroy your life. Just the way Potiphar's wife did with Joseph. Why did you think the Bible gave us that example? Was Bible supporting rape? Bible was telling that this is what we do. This is what these women do. The scorn of a woman, they will destroy anybody. And that is why we have a rule of law. We have fundamental human rights. Everybody has got right to fair hearing. This is what the message I was preaching. I'm on a different place. I'm a place with all those Yaba and all of them. I want my country to get better. I want you to be treated with dignity. I want your daughter to be treated with dignity. I don't want our Lamoyo. We have connection. We have emotions. No! It is the rule of law. Now, they knew all this, especially when we went to trial. Then they are now beginning to use power to say, this Yomi will now become a superhero. Unfortunately, I'm more interested in becoming a superhero. The truths are there. I'm not going to change my tone. Of course, I'm fighting with Lagos State government. But this is a country where there is ego. They will tell you government doesn't lose. Is that why you want to send him to life imprisonment for a crime he never committed? Because there is no fact in this evidence, in this case, that Baba Ijesha slept with the girl. But because if he doesn't have anybody, that is where you will see many people go to Nigerian prison. That is what people are silent about. That is what you actually gave kudos to Iyabo for. And I said, Iyabo, princess. No, princess ran away since November 2021. She ran away. Baba Ijesha never began because if she has stayed, I would make sure she's still going to come back. Yomi Fabiyi, ó jẹ́ kí n lọ ta òkín mi ní sọ pé mi ta lè gbẹdọ̀ ní ta lé láti lédè pàtàkì láti rẹ̀ lẹ̀ o. Ó jẹ́ kí n lọ gbàrú. She will come back. They must deport her to this country and she must face charges. If the Lagos State government failed to, she must come back. You can't use children for that. The debt we owe every child is protection. We need Salo Lati Bae.
Thank
And
you,
the other lady, actress, don't tell it. Can't you speak up? Why are you people not interested? They arrested Damola Adekola now with Baba Ijesha. You should ask yourself, I'm suing you to court of conscience. If you care so much about children and this country, why are you not asking that why is Damola Adekola not being prosecuted? She won't let you one evidence, every spam. Damola Adekola wrote in the statement, she is my girlfriend. Is it possible for somebody like that to say, if she's 14 and claim she's 14-year-old is my girlfriend? Princess saw this, all of them saw it, and they went blank. All the media, they kept quiet because they want me to come and go be again. So I pay everybody in 10 years' time, which was so. So ask yourself, how does that look like? Because you trap somebody with flirting. Will they share Omuyawe or Kiyawe Kose Disney? What about Patato? What's our little Murari Puyawe? What the Kiyawe goes on? Is that not madness?
Òṣùpá Ọba Ìràwọ̀.